Alrighty guys, we're back for some hasty Rakdos, and this is a Phyrexia, all will be one, standard brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks, and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? This one's based around Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor, which reminds me, this was actually a suggestion down in the comments. So thank you so much for that suggestion. It's going to be a fun one. The suggestion was to play Gix in a Rakdos shell that has a bunch of hasty creatures. So it's actually going to be pretty cool, huh? It's a 3 mana, 3/3 legendary creature. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1 life. If they do, draw a card. So you swing in with your hasty creatures, get some damage through, draw some more hasty creatures, slam those on the board next turn, get more damage through, right? So Gix is just going to keep replenishing our hand. It sounds like it's going to work really nicely. Now the double black in Gix might be a little greedy, but we have ways in here to get around that, which we'll go over in just a second, right? So what else do we got in here? 4 Kumano faces Kakkazan, naturally. 4 Swiftspear, yep. 4 Phoenix Check, of course, right? 3 Play with Fire, okie dokies. Here we go, 3 Sticky Fingers. This is a 1 mana aura. Enchanted creature has Menace. That's going to help us get damage through, and it works, yeah, just pairs with the Gix beautifully, doesn't it? Now, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. That's very powerful, helps us mana fix, and just also ramping in a deck like this is pretty good because you're going to have multiple things in your hand to play out because we're keeping our hand nice and stocked too. When enchanted creature dies, draw a card. Dude, on so many levels, Sticky Fingers is underplayed. There are probably so many different decks that wouldn't mind squeezing a Sticky Fingers or 2 into. It's crazy to me, man. This card is so good. I have a single Shivan Devastator, an X and a red, 0/0 flying haste, and when it enters the battlefield, it gets X +1/+1 counters on it. So yeah, nice. It's going to be worth the 1-of for sure. The other black card in the deck other than Gix is actually Go for the Throat. I mean, of course, right? Red has a really tough time, a really rough time against Obliterator and other cards like that. It has a rough time killing cards like Sheoldred. So just having a Go for the Throat to take care of those is going to be super excellent, huh? We have 4 Bloodthirsty Adversaries. Recasting a Go for the Throat is pretty solid, isn't it, huh? And we also have other cards to work with Bloodthirsty Adversary, like our Lightning Strikes. We have 3 of those. We have 2 Feldons, another way to just have more cards to play out. Like, we're just going to be stacked, dude. If we're not drawing off of Gix, then Feldon's going to help us out a ton too, right? Speaking of, yeah, keeping us nice and stocked and stacked, Professional Facebreaker. This is a 3 mana, 2/3 Menace. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. You can sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Yeah, pretty good, man. I can definitely see the reasoning behind having a Gix in here instead of a Facebreaker. Of course, like, Gix is a 3/3, so it doesn't get hit by cut down, which is already enough of a reason. But then also you can only play that card this turn, where Gix is just straight up drawing you stuff, and you get to keep it, and you can play it next turn too. But I can still see a reason to have 2 of these, especially since we have the 3 Sticky Fingers as well. I think it's going to do a lot, and I like the Menace pairing well with Gix as well, so... Have a couple Squees. Going wide in a deck with Gix is actually very powerful too. Those extra 1/1s are great. The opponent removes absolutely everything you've ever put onto the board, so Squee can remove those from the grave, and then you get to bring Squee back. I love Squee, and you guys know I love squeezing Squee into as many builds as possible. We have a top end here, a couple Thundering Raiju, of course. More hasty creatures, just very powerful. Pairs well with pretty much everything in here, so yeah, nice. Mana base, guys, how much? We got 20 land in here. Okay, that should theoretically be enough, especially with Sticky Fingers, and I could totally see some of you guys making the argument of going down to 19 or even 18 land. Bro, 18 land would really be pushing your luck, I feel, but yeah. Here's our dual lands, 2 of them being a Haunted Ridge, and we might want all 4 Haunted Ridge. I don't really know. I think the mana fixing is going to be enough in here. But if you're worried about it, you could go up the Haunted Ridge. It is going to slow you down sometimes on the earlier turns for sure. Also an Abandoned Mire, as well as a Crucible of Defiance, 8 mountains. Honorable mentions, guys. We got some more removal to consider. Cut down. I think just the 3 go for the throats is going to be fine. I think cut down's unnecessary here. Sheoldred's Edict is one to consider, especially since it can help you hit planeswalkers pretty well. Really depends. You could drop a go for the throat and go up a Sheoldred's Edict. Honestly, you could drop the go for the throats and go over, go up whatever removal you want. Maybe you're an Infernal Grasp kind of guy, right? Kind of player. Infernal Grasp would totally be fine. It can actually help you hit those artifact creatures too. So speaking of artifact creatures, a Braid. I always bring this up, but when you're playing Rakdos, I just love that you can play Go for the Throat and a Braid in the same deck. They just make a great pair, don't they? So Hammerhand was almost considered for this list as well, but I don't think it's going to be necessary at all. Okay, guys, that's the list. Hopefully I went over it well enough. I think it's going to be pretty powerful, but either way, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. Well, I got lost in the menus, I'm not gonna lie, guys. After all this time, I still get lost in the menus. Oh, good, we still found a match right away. That's good news. Yeah, I'm expecting a lot from this build, honestly, so we'll see. I do think it's gonna just absolutely slam the damage through. Look at this. This is a great start date. Yeah, wow. Is it gonna be Kumano or Phoenix Chick? Because it's turn 1 mountain, no guaranteed untapped source. I guess it's Kumano. It's gonna say, if we see an untapped source, Feldon's great to plug that counter onto, but Phoenix Chick is totally fine to plug a counter onto as well. So no untapped source. It's like I said, the Haunted Ridge will slow you down sometimes early on, so I think the 2 of is gonna be fine in here. But no guarantees like seeing a second black source either, so if we draw Gix right now, that wouldn't be the greatest draw. So we're trying to plug as much damage through early on, so... Second Rot Priest is pretty scary. They already got the ball rolling with the poison here. Skrelv, wow. Scary, scary business. Sulfurous Springs is completely fine. Feldon's gonna hit the board and Phoenix Chick. We're going all in, guys, all the hasty creatures. We could see here why Gix would be great. We could totally, like, imagine just completely restocking our hand that turn. And we're really concerned about poison and nothing else. So, it's Feldon, probably? No, they hit the, I guess... Huh. Are we dead next turn? Rot Priest could get them there. They get the 4 poison through. Rot Priest... Like, they just need one thing to target. We can't block. We can keep etching. Can't block with these 2. We could keep etching back, but they could just annex Sentry. Play a land. I mean, I think... we keep etching as a blocker. As silly as that sounds, man. How do you guys feel about that? Block the Raiju. If we plugged the counter into Raiju, that could have been pretty good. Rot Priest number 3. Oh my goodness, guys, we're so dead. Oh, it wasn't anything to target, luckily. We might be able to get there. They go for the swing. They have Rot Priest, Annex Sentry, and Singer to block. We can get rid of Skrelv. Gotta get that damage through somehow. Taking 1 less poison and getting the Skrelv off this board is pretty good, I would say. And they have enough blockers on the ground to say, like, okay, well, we can't necessarily... Okay, if we had one more... We had one more creature here. Second Raiju would have been great, but we only have 2 in the deck. I don't want to block. I want to keep. The way we're forced to block tells me we just swing, right? and then we plug it on the ground. They block all on the ground. So if we get 3 in the air, I guess we want Raiju buff? This is a really tough decision, guys. This is a really tough decision because if we go Swiftspear, they block here. We take care of these two because they're forced to block because they're taking 2 in the air. So it's Swiftspear, right? It's Swiftspear because of where they're forced to block. And they're down to 1. And then maybe we see a play with fire here. Crucible. Oh! I was like, oh, I mean, at least we play it as a land, right? I was like, oh, we'll channel this out real quick. We have blockers. All right, let's see that Rot Priest end this game for them. Yep, Tamiya's safekeeping. Good game, opponent. Got him down to 1, man. I feel like that really could have gone either way, and maybe I could have played that one out better, too. Honestly, seeing one of our go for the throats wouldn't have even been that good because the Rot Priests, like, they saw 3 Rot Priests that game, guys. So if we saw a go for the throat, we would have been taking even more poison damage. I could have held more back, too. I feel like I missed it. I missed that 1 damage somewhere. I had to have, right? I don't know. That's going to be one that I got to go back and watch. Or you guys let me know in the comments. Did I miss it somewhere? I feel like I probably did. And again, a Gix against Selesnya Toxic would be huge because they're trying to get the poison damage through. They're barely getting regular damage through with all their 1/1s and stuff, you know? Or one power cards. And so as you're taking that extra damage from Gix, it doesn't really matter too much. 2 mountains. Sticky Fingers could help us get the black sources for the Gix. I think this is fine. I would call this a relatively unlucky hand, but we don't have that many black sources in the mana base, you know? Let's go Sticky Fingers. Okay, nice. So it wasn't burn. We're just gonna do this all now to get extra damage through. Sticky Fingers does get us the treasure. That's still 1 black source away from Gix, but overall, great. This is really good. All right, let's just get the Squee down. Get a swing. And then we'll get Gix next turn, potentially. Nice, good starting turns here, guys. The extra treasure lets us cast the Lightning Strike if we have to. I don't know what the opponent's planning here. Brotherhood's End, bro. That's brutal, man. I'm gonna keep the treasure for the Gix. Draw a card off of Sticky Fingers. Ooh, nice. Okay. Kumano flips, has haste. Oh, nice. Abandoned Mire. So we can actually play that out like that. Have 3 open. Lightning Strike available. Swing. Look at this. Look at Gix, guys. Look at this. This is insane. Because we're gonna draw 2 here. The opponent's down to 3. Wow. Yep. Phoenix Chick is awesome. Squee could come back from the grave if they wipe this board. GG opponent. Wow, dude. That was showcasing why we have Gix in the deck. That's showcasing why that was a suggestion down in the comments that caught my attention. That was awesome, dude. That was sweet. Just being able to restock that hand. Yeah, even another Brotherhood's End. If they wiped that board again, we restocked our hand relatively well. The card draw on Sticky Fingers when the creature dies just happens to be really good too, man. That was sweet. I wish that was the first game. But second game, that works too. A bunch of mountains. Okay. Well, at least we know. I mean, at this point, it just looks like we're playing mono red, but honestly, with the open Blackcleave Cliffs, it probably should have been Kumano, because this could have been a cut down easily. I wasn't really thinking there. My first thought was just get the creature down, but yeah, we should have went Kumano first. Let's just go for maximum amount of damage here. Get that scry. Adversary's good. Adversary's great, actually. Yeah, right now the opponent just thinks we're up against, or they're up against mono red. Swiftspear's out of here. Adversary can hit Liliana, which we'll probably want to do. Although, we could at least, well, if we play with Fire Face, it's less damage, but at least we'll get the scry. I think we keep play with fire open. That also, I was going to say we could play with fire the Liliana hit 3 at face, but this lets us keep this open too. It could potentially hit a Fable of the Mirror token or something as well. A little bit of life gain from the Overlook. Kumano flips next turn. Okay, Lightning Strike hits that luckily. Other words, that would be very scary. They can power up Bankbuster next turn after we do hit it with the Lightning Strike. So we won't get a swing. Go for the Throat doesn't hit the Bankbuster either, but I think we probably keep that on top, right? Right? I think. I don't think we want to lose that. The big issue here is we lose a turn because of the Bankbuster. They just power that up. And we probably keep like a Go for the Throat if they see like a Sheoldred or something. We still attempt this. They're tapped out right now. You never know when these types of decks are running Tamiyo Safekeeping or anything like that. So Bankbuster kind of sort of ruins the turn. We don't have a black source for the Go for the Throat, guys. Oh no. Why did I keep that? I mean, I guess my brain was thinking we had a mana base, but no. Oh no, Brotherhood's End. Oh no, guys, this has to be leaning towards the opponent. No questions asked. Even if we do see a black source for the Go for the Throat, that's like a whole turn where all we see is a land. Yeah, no, I don't see a way through. Soul of Windgrace can help them gain life too. And they can actually start this turn. Back up to 11. Wow, yeah. Yeah, some Jund Soul of Windgrace, huh? I wonder how many of these they have in there. Might be a full deck of it, honestly. The Gix is not a great draw, guys. We do have black sources in here. I mean, when we went over the deck, it's technically 11 black sources, but we could go up the other 2 Haunted Ridge. That might actually be necessary. Tear Asunder, yet Jund having answers for everything. That's Jund for you, though. Jund is making a comeback, honestly. We've been seeing a lot more Jund recently. There's their Fable. We were talking about that with the Play with Fire earlier. But we're like super dead. I wonder if we play it out, because it would still take them 3 more turns to get there. Phoenix check! Yay! Actually, just seeing something that we could play is completely fine. Now we're seeing the other end of Gix, right? Where we saw how powerful it was to have in here, but then after the fact, we still have to showcase how hard it is to actually cast in some matches. Now we could have mulliganed that hand too, but I don't think that was a mulligan hand by any means. If we were just playing mono red, that was a terrific starting hand. And this was my fault too. We could have sent this to the bottom on the scry and maybe found something a little bit faster too. We'll let the opponent play this out, because now next turn with a full swing, they get there. And you guys know me. I like to see what's on top of the deck. Ooh, Squee. Honestly, it's not half bad, man. It's not half bad. But yeah, no, Jund got there. For sure. Let's see. They'll power up Bankbuster, full swing, and we block the Soul of the Windgrace. Drop the GGs. I guess we'll wait for them to get out of their deck with the Overlook first. Okay, good game. Good game, opponent. You know what's something a little surprising to me? I feel like Soul of Windgrace, I feel like it should have Trample or something. You guys know what I mean? It's just one of those cards, not based on like the artwork or anything. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. There's just sometimes there's like cards and it's just like, huh. I feel like that card should have this, you know? Soul of Windgrace. I don't know. I just feel like it should have trample. Alright guys, maybe we'll see a little bit of our actual mana base here. Yeah, there we go, okay. No guaranteed third mana, but like, we'll find it. We'll be fine. We got 3 Sticky Fingers in here too, which happens to pair well with Phoenix Chick's flying too, so... Because Flying Menace is very difficult to ever block. Another Phoenix Chick? Okay, sure. I'll take it. And yeah, we also have so many 1 mana cards that we should be relatively sustainable on 2 mana for a while. Well, there always has to be that one thing that proves you wrong. Well, our lightning strikes just got a lot worse, and that happened to be what we drew there too. Oh no, guys. All right, well, Phoenix Chick, carry us to victory, my friend. Azorius Soldiers. So their 3 mana, like their Brutal Cathar isn't particularly good against this. Do we just Lightning Strike the Thalia? Maybe not, maybe... We have to anticipate a counterspell too. But I think Facebreaker hits this board, and then what does Azorius Soldier run? Like Soul Partition maybe? Fateful Absence? It really depends. What we want though is we want this treasure. Yay, treasure! Okay, end turn. Facebreaker blocks really well against Thalia too, but okay, it was a reinforcement. Generally speaking, I think Brutal Cathar is the main removal in Azorius Soldiers, but you never know. Like, when they're running reinforcements too, they do like to have other instant speed stuff sometimes, so we have seen Fateful Absence, and I have seen Soul Partition, but it tends to be rare. And we have seen counterspells in these decks too, but again, relatively rare. Siege Veteran. Okay, no. Brutal Cathar is huge for us. Only an island open over here too. This does let them get the Thalia through. Lightning Strike. We might just want to focus face, guys. We might. Raiju. Yeah, focus face. Focus face, right? Use that treasure ramp. Get to swinging, huh? This has Menace too. Yep, full swing. All in. I think we can outrace them. I think we can. I think this might be... You know what? If they take it all, they can full buff their soldier board state twice next turn. If they double buff this, I'll be shocked. They do have 4 mana. They could go Valiant Veteran and Valiant Veteran number 2. And that's a lot of damage. And the Siege Veteran buffs as well. Mural. It wasn't a double buff. They took so much damage there. We swing with Raiju. Plug the other counter on the Phoenix Chick. This has to be like a Fading Hope or something. And we have a Lightning Strike in hand. And we drew another Phoenix Chick. Wow. I don't even know where to begin half the time. With, like, sometimes we draw so incredibly well, and other times they just took the damage. GG opponent. GG. Yeah, no, that was good. The Thalia was hilarious, man. Right after I said we can maintain ourselves at 2 mana, and then Thalia drops and we top deck a 3rd Lightning Strike. That was really funny. A decent deck so far, guys. It's doing what you'd expect. You know, running that mono red shell with just extra hasty packed into it happens to be relatively decent already. If you were just running mono red with Facebreaker and Sticky Fingers, it would be fine. I think you would totally be able to do a thing. Mono red happens to be in a great position right now, and it can be relatively flexible with what cards you actually include in it. But like, yeah, having the Gix in here too, I don't know, it just seems good, man. I like it so far. Start with the Cliffs, and we will go Swiftspear because turn 2 might be a go for the throat, and then Swiftspear hits a little harder, right? So there we go. Right away, we see the double black for the Gix if we top deck it, so that's pretty good. We could go Adversary here, no worries, but when we have all this mana, a turn 5 Adversary happens to be a little bit better. Just gonna go Phoenix Chick and swing, and they probably pick off the Swiftspear here. Not the greatest, a lot of mana, but if we go for the throat and then eventually bring back the go for the throat with the Adversary, that's like a lot of that's a lot of value, man. Nice, look at us. Woohoo! Look at us. Yes, we'll take that draw. What on earth, man? Sometimes this deck just draws so well. Now we get a Squee too. Oh my goodness, dude. I mean, Gix has to be the target here, right? So if we keep Gix back, the exile Squee. Oh wow. Maybe I should have swung with Gix. I was fully expecting Wandering Emperor there. I can't remember the last time the opponent had mana for an Emperor, but the Emperor didn't hit. I literally, I don't remember the time, guys, and I'm sure you guys don't remember either, so. There's usually, if it's not Emperor, then it's usually just like something else, like right away. Or doubling down on removal. I mean, this is Mardu, so it's running go for the throat. Yeah, cut downs. They have that abrade too. We have a turn 5 Adversary, but nothing to bring back because we have no targets for the go for the throat yet. We could just play Adversary. Oh, there we go. I mean, still not like the greatest. And that's pretty brutal, though. That's pretty brutal, man. Yeah. I'm not even gonna play the Sticky Finger because we're gonna draw and we could see like a Play with Fire too. Oh, I also, yeah, we could see a Play with Fire. Whee! How many cards? Lightning Strike, that's good. There's the Play with Fire. Now we decline. We'll draw one more just for funsies. Play with Fire. GG, opponent. GG. Holy cow, man. That Gix is insane. Seriously, dude. Oh my goodness. When we draw, dude, we draw really well. When we draw poorly, we draw pretty poorly too, let's be real. But I mean, the deck's drawing beautifully right now. That Gix draw was just... I'm a little taken aback by how well it's working right now. Yeah, again, the biggest issue is actually just seeing the double black source for the Gix. And so if you can play around that as much as possible with those treasure tokens, you're golden. So we'll see. Let's see what else we can do with this deck. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Like, this is a pretty sketchy one, but 4 1-mana cards can all be played with this one mountain, and Sticky Fingers has that potential to draw or create more treasure, which is of course that ramp. So if we play Sticky Fingers on Phoenix Chick, for example, they kill the Phoenix Chick, we draw off the Sticky Fingers, which is kind of like filtering the card out then for more mana. So the one mountain isn't that scary here, honestly. So it's not Sticky Fingers this turn. We keep the Play with Fire, and it's that the mountain's scary, man. If we would have went Sticky Fingers on the Phoenix Chick, they could have Play with Fired the Phoenix Chick, and we lost both cards. which would be devastating. So since we had other options, then that's the route to go. Did they also keep... Oh, there you go. You found a land. There you go. Nice. And now we know it's not a play with fire. So, got play with fire face. Mountain is fine. Mountain is fine. Let's get the adversary down. Sticky fingers on the Phoenix chick. Actually, adversary... No. Because adversary already has a target on its back for a lightning strike. Kumano flips next turn. Facebreaker's great. The extra treasures could help us find what we need to close out this match. Oh. Rakdos. Huh. Rakdos oil, maybe, honestly. A Fable. Feldon. Feldon's great. I'd love to get Facebreaker down this turn too, but we will ramp into Facebreaker. I don't know if we play it though. I don't know if we play it. I think we might want to actually play around a Brotherhood's End here. After seeing this, they don't have double red. It's fine. I don't think we play it. I think, yeah, we better play around a board wipe. And if it is Brotherhood's End, that's a decent board wipe for us because of the Feldon. Because it does damage, right? Then we get to find something hasty. Bloodthirsty Harvester. So it wasn't a board wipe, but I still... yeah, I stick to what I said. I think we definitely played around that board wipe. Just in case. But if we played Facebreaker, then we'd still potentially have lethal damage on the board. Especially with that Menace, too. Okay, well, that means we wouldn't have had lethal on the board with Facebreaker. Wow. Held it back, see an adversary off the top, recast the play with fire to their face full swing. I mean, just wow. I mean, we knew we had powerful cards in here, but the way it's drawing... Thank you, opponent. Good game, buddy. Good game. We're drawing so well. Look, we're actually climbing a little bit, too. Wow. We've been stuck on this same pip in Platinum pretty much all month. Just going back and forth. I only really play ranked for the videos, and so that's why I see I always bring it up. I don't enjoy the climbing experience. It's just constant back and forth, and then you have to worry about winning. Winning's fun and all, but if you put all of your weight into winning, then it can also be very frustrating when you lose, and never like that. I think that takes away from the actual experience of playing a game in general, just like any game, not just Magic. Good hand. Frontliner. Okay, we got some soldiers here. Alright, it's going to be Kumano over Swiftspear. Swiftspear blocks the frontliner, but like, yeah, we probably would have swung in with this anyways. I like Kumano for a 3/3 adversary instead. So Lightning Strike could hit. Let's get adversary and swing. We could potentially outpace this. We have to save the Lightning Strike for Brutal Cathar. Brutal Cathar does take the token, or the counter off the adversary, but we'll still get a 2/2 back. We might hold off on the Cathar and think about the Veteran instead. Veteran number 2. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Yeah, no, we're going to have to hit one of these Veterans. That's big damage from the opponent. Sticky Fingers is terrific. We go Sticky Fingers Menace onto Adversary. They double block. Oh, we don't have the third mana. We go Swiftspear. Sticky Fingers Menace full swing. No, 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 no. No, it's this before combat. Unfortunately, we don't have the mana right now, but hey, that's gonna happen sometimes. We keep... Do they trade here? That's a good trade for us, right? Technically, kinda. Well, maybe not. No, they take it. Could be another Valiant Veteran in hand. Brutal Cathar, take Etching. Full Swing, 8 damage, down to 3. We're in danger, guys. I think we're in danger either way, no matter what we did there. If we saved blockers, I think that could have potentially been worse, as we still know how to be incredibly explosive. Frontliner gets exiled, take 6. Officer gets exiled, take 5. Take 6, get Frontliner out of here. That's what I think. How you guys feel about that? Down to 5, they have 3 mana. It's going to be a Harbin. It's going to be another Frontliner from their hand. Oh, no. Harbin is the nail in the coffin because of the flying, right? If we go Sticky Fingers, Swing, they just take the damage. Then we'll have 2 open. We'll have 1 less blocker on the ground. 4 damage in the air, swing with Frontliner, 5 damage in the air, right? Yeah, I think we're dead either way, so we're going out the fun way. Going out the fun way. Yeah, just take 3. So technically we could have played Swiftspear before the Sticky Fingers and got another swing too, but this is fine as well. GG opponent, they didn't need removal, man. They just had to completely run us down. Very scary. Block, block, drop the GGs. So like the deck has been performing a little bit back and forth, right? Let's see if we can get one more match in. These matches have been really fast, so because that game, another mana could have gone a long way because we were really struggling to get that Sticky Finger onto the board. So like we were struggling to actually ramp with it, and when we could play the Sticky Finger, the opponent just had enough fuel, enough creatures to actually be able to double block if they needed to, and then okay, this is a good hand. We don't need mana for the rest of the game with this hand. I never know where to start, but I suppose we should start with Kumano because it's a swamp and any of our creatures could get cut down. And Feldon will be a 3/3, but I suppose we have to play around and make disappear. I think it's still Feldon, right? Make disappear on Feldon is fine for the opponent. It's the board, could be a go for the throat then. Children's Edict, okay. Same concept, it was going to be removal. And we really don't need to see mana for the rest of the game. No more mana. Put it all to the bottom of the deck. Kumano flips. Ooh, Sultai. Haven't seen Sultai in a while. Gix is a great draw, dude. I'm gonna try it. It lands. That's gonna be a cut down for Etching. No draw for us, and potentially... Yeah, that's a lot of removal. We can get there. These decks eventually run out of removal. Target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. Okay, I got worried there for a second. Haha! My onslaught of Phoenix Chicks. Go, 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 go. Now we top deck 2 more Phoenix Chick, and the combo will be complete. Now, there's an argument to be made where if we would have just played Phoenix Chicks early on, then their removal would have been much worse, because eventually we can bring Phoenix Chick back with all of our other stuff that we're swinging in with, right? So, yeah, I maybe could have played this in a different order. That's really bad, man. I don't know where to start. I guess we just keep going face and hope that we actually draw something that isn't mana. Again, we could have mulliganed that hand too. I don't think it was a mulligan hand. I think seeing 3 mana is completely fine in your opener. And at that point, you just gotta be sweating the rest of the time and hoping that you're not drawing the mana. But we've drawn 6 so far, which is pretty bad for what we need to be seeing right now. Liliana, man, just a Conduit of Worlds Sultai deck. This is terrifying, dude, and that was so much removal overall. It's gonna be one of the Phoenix Chick because we could top deck a hasty creature. They can just keep recasting with Conduit of Worlds, so we just swing at face, I guess. Go for the throat number 3, right? Go for the throat, cut down Sheoldred's Edict. That was go for the throat number 2. Let me double check, let me read this to make sure I'm making the right decisions here. Choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. So if we would have swung at the Planeswalkers, they could have just recast one back from the grave. And we're flooding, guys. Ah, man. Well, let's go like 2 more draws and see if they can find a win condition here. I wonder if Jace is the win condition. And then recast Jace. This is cool, man. Props to the opponent for having a cool build. At first I thought it was just going to be removal tribal. While there was a ton of removal, and 4 pieces of spot removal definitely dismantles this build. You know, Sultai Jace is really cool. Oh, dude, this is sick, actually. I'm going to let them play this out. They can totally mill us. They can totally mill us with Jace, but where do I even start? Not Phoenix Chick. So Feldon's fine, Kumano, Gix, and our Mountain. Wow, we got some good draws, man. The deck knows how to draw, dude. For real. If we get to keep any of this, the Phoenix Chick can come back next turn. If we get to keep any of this, although it's probably Jace. Jace, Conduit of Worlds, Jace. Oh, I guess we just die that way, huh? So if we brought back Squee, we need 3 for the Phoenix Chick, right? Attack with 3 or more creatures. At 3 mana open, we would have only had 2 creatures. They go Memory Deluge. Wait! If they cast, they would have only been able to cast 1 spell, right? Can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Can they do that twice with the Conduit of Worlds? I actually don't know how that works. I guess they can only do it once. Aw, Path of Peril. That does ruin our Phoenix Chick strategy unless we top deck a hasty creature. Ooh, wait a minute. It's gonna be 3. We have 4 mana available. So let's bring back, what do we want to bring back? 4 mana available. Raiju, right? Raiju 7 damage. There's no way. There's no way. GG opponent. Oh my goodness. I gave up all hope and the deck got there. Dude, so somebody let me know in the comments, do they get to do the Conduit of Worlds twice? I feel like it might only be once, since it specifically says, if you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. So I feel like they wouldn't be able to tap the second Conduit of Worlds and do it again. Because they would have been able to do, what, mill 15 and then bring it back again and do another 15. So I feel like they couldn't do that, other words they would have. So Abandoned Mire was actually a terrific draw because they were milling us. We had the Raiju available in the grave. It was pretty much just like drawing that Raiju and they only had the 1 mana available. Wow, I mean, I couldn't ask for better draws today overall. While some of the matches it seemed like we got a little unlucky, I don't know if we necessarily did. I think overall the deck performed well. here's the deck list again. I loved it, dude. I loved it. I kept bringing it up in the matches and after the matches. The scariest part of the deck is seeing the double black source for Gix. After Gix hits the board, it doesn't get cut down because it's a 3/3. You just start swinging on in and drawing as many cards as possible with Gix, and then you do that. You just rinse and repeat. You just keep on doing that. Stock your hand, keep on slamming through with hasty creatures. So what would I do? I would probably go up at least the third Haunted Ridge. It's gonna slow you down at the beginning of many games. So 4 is probably equally as sketchy as the double black and Gix to begin with. Abandoned Mire was definitely worth it, huh? Wow, that was insane. So I would drop a mountain, go up a third Haunted Ridge. If you're really concerned, drop the other mountain, go up the fourth Haunted Ridge. You'll be fine, I guess. Haunted Ridge is going to be slow sometimes. Sometimes you only see the slow land in your opener for these aggro decks, and you're like, ah, man, well, we don't have a turn 1 and no promise turn 2 because you don't have a promise of drawing an untapped land, so you gotta, like, play the other tapped land, play your 1-drop on your second turn, so that's all I would do. I would drop a mountain, go up a third Haunted Ridge, but like I said, you'll probably be okay with the fourth one. Sticky Fingers was great, Squee was awesome, Professional Facebreaker was decent, Feldon's great, Lightning Strike and Play with Fire, of course, right? Everything was powerful in the list. I love that we just had access. It's like, it's a mono red list that has access to Go for the Throat and good card draw. So really fun, guys. Thank you again for the suggestion. Absolutely epic suggestion. This was so much fun. Maybe one of my favorite lists right now for the current set, but more testing's required too. Like, we don't know how powerful it can actually be, or if I just got completely lucky with all the wins today. I don't feel like I got particularly lucky with all the wins, but we definitely did have great draws, so it's very possible that I got lucky all day. So guys, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one.